When the skies over Tehran lit up with coordinated explosions, many thought, just another tense night in the Middle East. But they were wrong. This was the beginning of something much bigger, the collapse of the Iron Curtain that for decades separated Israel and Iran. That night wasn't just about targets being hit. It was a message. We are ready for anything, even if no one is. If you want to keep following the backstage of these power plays reshaping the world map, subscribe to the new Tortoiseus channel. Here, the focus isn't noise, it's the strategy behind the moves. In the early hours of June 13th, Israel launched surgical strikes against Iran's key nuclear and military installations. Tehran, Isfahan, Qum, Tabriz, strategic cities were hit by drones and missiles. The Natanz facility, the Iraq reactor, even Parchin, symbols of Iran's nuclear secrecy, were directly impacted. This operation wasn't just tactical, it was symbolic. Israel wanted to show it still calls the shots in the regional chess game. And perhaps the real target wasn't uranium, but Iran's power structure itself. Meanwhile, Mossad operatives moved freely inside Iranian territory, facing little resistance. Several senior officials were neutralized. The Iranian airspace seemed suspended, as if caught off guard in a momentary lapse of its own defense. Iran responded with drones and ballistic missiles, most of which were shot down, but Tel Aviv felt the blow. Yet Iran had saved its most symbolic move for later. On Monday night, it launched 14 missiles at the U.S.'s largest Middle Eastern base, Al Udeid and Qatar. The operation was dubbed the Annunciation of Victory, but 13 missiles were intercepted. The one that got through was heading away from critical areas. Trump confirmed, "No casualties. We were warned." An attack announced in advance, strangely calculated. It wasn't just about causing damage, but demonstrating capability and intent without crossing the red line of full retaliation. Trump reacted with restraint, even gratitude. He called Iran's response weak and thanked them for the warning. But on the ground, explosions were heard in Doha. Civilians caught off guard. No official alerts from Qatar. Amid restrained diplomacy, the real impact was felt by those outside the decision rooms. Iran seemed to know exactly how far it could push without escalating into a full-on conflict with the U.S. The missiles missed key targets, but the message was clear: we can if we want to. It was a show of controlled strength, perhaps to keep diplomatic leverage alive or to test the limits of the U.S. reaction. Meanwhile, the U.S. president tries to avoid direct involvement, but the noose tightens. Israel's allies raise alerts, and the National Security Council convened an emergency meeting. Neighboring countries closed their airspace. Defense systems were sent to maximum alert. We're witnessing a new kind of conflict, where explosions matter less than the signals sent. Israel bets on weakening Iran's internal regime structure contre. Iran chooses pressure without provoking full intervention. And the U.S., even at the margins, is already part of the game. It's not just about attacks, it's about narrative, survival, and political calculation. The next moves will define more than the outcome of this escalation. They'll tell us who still calls the shots in a shifting international order. If you want more content that helps you decode not only the Middle East, but also the major alignments of the Lusophone world and beyond, it's worth checking out the video CPLP, Strategic Block or just Diplomatic Fear, here on the channel. It's the perfect extension of this analysis, and it might change the way you see bloc politics and their real impact. Share this video with anyone who likes to look beyond the headlines, and comment. What will be the next move?